JD Vance, the author of Hillbilly Elegy, is more than just a memoirist. A Yale law graduate, Vance has become a significant voice in the economic discourse of America. His book offered a raw, unfiltered look at life in the Rust Belt, capturing the struggles and aspirations of a forgotten demographic. Recently, Vance made headlines by securing the Republican nomination for vice president. His rapid ascent in politics has left many analysts puzzled, but it's his economic ideas that are truly shaking things up. Vance's rise wasn't entirely unexpected. Former President Trump, known for his unconventional picks, saw potential in Vance's outsider status and bold economic vision. Vance's unfiltered opinions resonate with a base eager for change. Even those skeptical of mainstream politics find something intriguing in Vance's approach. His economic proposals challenge the status quo, aiming to reshape the American economic landscape. Vance isn't just about memoirs. He's about big economic ideas. He's not afraid to ruffle feathers, advocating for policies that prioritize the working class over corporate interests. His proposals are causing a stir among traditional conservatives. Vance is pushing for a new direction, one that focuses on economic equity and revitalizing American industry. Forget the usual tax cuts for the wealthy. Vance advocates for policies that aim to level the playing field, believing the current system is rigged in favor of the rich. Vance wants to rewrite the economic rules. He talks about breaking up big tech monopolies, investing in infrastructure, and bringing jobs back to America. It's a bold vision gaining traction. He identifies as a conservative nationalist, a term loaded with meaning. Vance's focus is on putting America first, but in a way that diverges from traditional Republican policies. Critics label him as radical and unpredictable. Some question his motives, wondering if he's merely riding the wave of populist discontent. But Vance represents a shift in the Republican Party towards a more populist, working-class-focused agenda. He's not your grandpa's Republican, he's something new. And perhaps a little terrifying. With Vance, the future is uncertain. He's a wild card in an already unpredictable political landscape, making him a figure to watch closely. Free trade? Not in Vance's America, he hates it. Thinks it ships jobs overseas and leaves American workers behind. His solution? Tariffs. Big ones, on China especially. And immigration? Forget about it. Vance wants less of it. Way less. He's even open to mass deportation. Claims it's about protecting American jobs and wages. Critics say it's just plain cruel. Vance's stance on trade and immigration? Music to Trump's ears. But it's giving traditional Republicans heartburn. They see red, and not the good kind. Remember when Republicans hated government intervention? Those were the days. Vance sure doesn't. He wants the government to get its hands dirty, especially when it comes to manufacturing. His plan? Subsidies, tax breaks, anything to bring back those factory jobs. Vance thinks the government should pick winners and losers in the economy. Free market purists are horrified. But here's the kicker. Some Democrats actually agree with Vance on this. They've been calling for industrial policy for years. Strange bedfellows indeed. Here's where things get really weird. Vance supports a higher minimum wage, like, way higher. Some say he's even flirted with the idea of $20 an hour. His reasoning? It'll force companies to automate. And the remaining workers? They'll be highly skilled and highly paid. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Economists are scratching their heads. Republicans are fuming. Democrats are cautiously optimistic. It's like everyone's confused, but also a little intrigued. Section 5, Bitcoin billionaire? Not quite, but close. Vance loves Bitcoin, he's invested heavily in it, he thinks it's the future of finance. And, he wants the government to keep its grubby little hands off of it. This puts him at odds with, well, pretty much everyone in Washington. Democrats and Republicans alike are wary of cryptocurrency. They want to regulate it, control it, maybe even tax it. But Vance isn't backing down. He sees Bitcoin as a way to stick it to the man, and maybe, just maybe, get filthy rich in the process. Section 6, labor pains unions under the microscope. Unions? Vance's stance is complicated. On the one hand, he talks a big game about supporting workers. He wants them to have a voice. He wants them to earn a decent living. But he also opposes some key pro-union legislation. He thinks unions have become too powerful, too bureaucratic, too out of touch with the average worker. So what's his solution? Sectoral bargaining. It's a European-style system where unions and employers negotiate wages and working conditions for entire industries. Whether that would actually benefit American workers is anyone's guess. Section 7, Dollar Doubts. Is it time for a change? The dollar, the world's reserve currency, a symbol of American economic might. Vance isn't impressed. He thinks it's overrated, overvalued, and maybe even a liability. He argues that the dollar's dominance hurts American manufacturers. It makes our exports more expensive, and it allows other countries to manipulate their currencies to our disadvantage. Vance's solution? It's unclear. Maybe a weaker dollar? Maybe a new global reserve currency altogether? Whatever it is, it's sure to ruffle some feathers in Washington and beyond. Section 8, Deregulation Drive Unleashing AI and Energy. Vance loves deregulation. He thinks the government is too involved in the economy. Vance believes that the heavy hand of government stifles innovation and growth. He argues that bureaucratic red tape and excessive regulations are holding back the true potential of American businesses and entrepreneurs. He wants to unleash the power of the free market. Vance envisions a landscape where businesses can operate without the constant oversight and interference of government agencies. He believes that a liberated market will lead to unprecedented economic growth and prosperity, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence and energy. Vance sees these sectors as the cornerstones of future economic development. He argues that AI has the potential to revolutionize industries, making them more efficient and productive. He sees AI as the future of the American economy. Vance believes that AI can drive innovation, create new jobs, and enhance the quality of life for all Americans. He envisions a future where AI is integrated into every aspect of daily life, from healthcare to transportation, and he doesn't want the government to stifle innovation with regulations. Vance argues that overregulation can hinder the development and deployment of new technologies. He believes that a more relaxed regulatory environment will encourage investment and foster a culture of innovation. As for energy, Vance wants to drill, baby, drill. He is a strong advocate for tapping into America's vast natural resources. Vance believes that energy independence is crucial for national security and economic stability. He's a big fan of fossil fuels. Vance argues that fossil fuels are essential for maintaining the country's energy needs. He believes that with the right technology and innovation, the environmental impact of fossil fuels can be mitigated. Climate change? Not a priority for him. Environmentalists are horrified. Vance's stance on climate change has drawn significant criticism from environmental groups. They argue that his policies could have devastating effects on the planet. Tech companies are cautiously optimistic. While they appreciate the potential for growth and innovation, they are also wary of the possible negative consequences of deregulation. They understand the need for a balanced approach, and traditional Republicans are nodding in approval. Vance's policies resonate with the core values of the Republican base. They see deregulation as a return to conservative principles of limited government and free market capitalism. It's a classic case of Vance shaking things up. His bold stance on deregulation and his vision for the future of AI and energy are sure to spark debate and drive the conversation forward. Section 9, Antitrust Action, Taking on Big Tech. In the heart of Silicon Valley, where innovation meets immense power, a new battle is brewing. The giants of the tech world, the titans who have shaped our digital lives, are now facing a formidable challenge. Big tech better watch out. The era of unchecked dominance might be coming to an end. The winds of change are blowing and they are carrying the scent of antitrust action. Vance is coming for them. He hates monopolies. He believes that no single company should have the power to control markets, influence politics, or dictate the terms of our digital lives. His mission is clear: to dismantle the monopolistic structures that have taken root in the tech industry. He thinks companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google have too much power. These companies, once the darlings of innovation, are now seen as gatekeepers, controlling vast swaths of the internet and our personal data. And Google have too much power. Their influence extends beyond just technology. It permeates every aspect of our lives, from the way we shop to the information we consume. And he wants to break them up. He envisions a future where competition thrives, where new ideas can flourish without being stifled by the overwhelming presence of a few dominant players. He's a big fan of Lina Khan, the chair of the Federal Trade Commission. Khan has been a vocal critic of big tech, advocating for stronger regulations and more aggressive antitrust actions. She's been on a crusade against big tech. Her efforts have been met with both praise and resistance, but she remains undeterred, pushing forward with her vision of a fairer, more competitive marketplace. And Vance is cheering her on every step of the way. He sees her as an ally in his fight, someone who shares his determination to take on the tech giants. This puts him in league with, well, a lot of people these days. The movement against big tech is gaining momentum, drawing support from across the political spectrum. Democrats and Republicans alike are concerned about the power of big tech. It's a rare issue that unites both sides of the aisle, with many agreeing that something needs to be done to rein in these corporate behemoths. But Vance is going further than most. While others call for regulation and oversight, he is advocating for a complete dismantling of these companies. He believes that only by breaking them up can true competition be restored. He's ready to dismantle these companies. His vision is radical, but he argues that it's necessary to prevent any one company from having too much control over our digital lives. And he's not afraid of a fight. Vance knows that taking on big tech won't be easy, but he's prepared for the challenge. With allies like Lina Khan and a growing public support, he believes that the time for change is now.